All right, ladies and gentlemen, lots of things to talk about. We want to go through the latest on Romelu Lukaku. We also want to dwell a little bit about Denzel Dumfries. This is something we definitely need to talk about. And there's quite a few other bits and pieces. The other one that we really want to talk about is Todd Boehly and some of his recent comments on Bloomberg. And we'll finish things off with a little bit of Jules Kounde scenario, what's going on. So let's get into it straight away.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get stuck straight in. Ben Jacobs, I like this guy a lot. This guy's journalism is top notch, and he's got something to report in regards to Romelu Lukaku, and he's quite comprehensive about his whole situation at the moment. So let's get in on it. Talks continuing between Chelsea and Inter. A traditional loan is now looking less likely than a swap deal. So not a traditional loan. We're going to look into a swap, and I think Dumfries is very much a player that we fancy. And we're going to look into Dumfries a little bit. Maybe I've been a bit harsh. It's because Inter Milan has done us royally with this Lukaku situation, and I think I've just been a bit annoyed about the whole case, and that's why I don't want to get into the Dumfries situation with them. I don't want to do any business with them, but maybe we just need to look a bit deeper on this. Both options have been explored. Chelsea want a defender. Skriniar, Bastoni and Dumfries discussed. Further on, Ben Jacobs goes on to say, Inter sources familiar with the talks say that they don't want to lose Bastoni, whose agent has also said he's definitely staying. No doubt Bastoni is happy at Inter, but agent quote should still be taken with a pinch of salt at this stage. Look, if it's Bastoni, wow, that would be great. We need an LCB, and I'll take Bastoni. Bastoni is a solid LCB. There's no doubt about that. Defensively, so good. On the ball, so good. Skriniar is being chased by PSG, and Inter are open to letting him go. There is an acceptance they can't get Lukaku without either paying a significantly higher loan fee or trading someone, and that's absolutely fine. This is how exactly it needs to be. I would prefer a higher sum. Give us cash and we'll find our players. But if you can't stump up the cash, well, all right, let's go with the players. When you really just calm yourself down, as much as I don't want to do deals with Inter Milan, as I said, they screwed us so many times. So many times as in this one, Romelu Lukaku, I guess within Romelu Lukaku so many times. I don't want to deal with them, but if it means that we can, get a deal across the board with a player from them, let's do it. My understanding remains there is no chance of Chelsea getting Martinez, even if Inter soften. Martinez doesn't want the move. Inter sees Lukaku Martinez as a key partnership on and off the field. Fair enough, mate. Keep the boyfriends together. I've got no issues. If they want to stay together, keep them together. I want players that want to come to Chelsea Football Club, not players that are going to have this feeling towards Inter Milan, and they're going to come to Chelsea and all they're going to think about is Inter Milan. And before you know, Lautaro Martinez has an interview as well, unsanctioned. Still, also some discussions with Chelsea as to whether Lukaku should simply be loaned in short term, given he's under contract until 2026. Todd Boehly has spoken to Thomas Tuchel to determine whether the relationship between the manager and player is repairable. It seems like Todd Boehly is, it's not his preference to let go of Romelu Lukaku, but I think he understands that the player and the manager simply doesn't get along. I knew there was definitely issues last season. We can all see that there was definitely issues between Thomas Tuchel and Romelu Lukaku, but I thought the way at times Thomas Tuchel protected him as well, that maybe, just maybe this season they could do something, but the fact that we are so advanced at the moment with Inter Milan to letting this player go just shows that maybe Thomas Tuchel just doesn't want to get in on this act next season. He wants a stress-free situation. And let's be honest, Romelu Lukaku caused a lot of stress. So at the end of the day, if we're going to back Thomas Tuchel, let's back him and let's let the player go. In more traditional loan deals, CFC would want over double the 5 million euros Inter have offered. It's a bit of a joke, the 5 million. Whether it's just for this particular season, how many seasons they're going to take him for a loan, that's the other thing. If it's just for one season with no obligation to buy, 5 million loan, that's just mad. 12 to 15 million is the likely fee, despite Chelsea originally hoping for 20 million. Talks complicated by many moving parts, type of deal, loan swap, Boehly's input, player manager dynamic. I would have loved 20 million, but if we can get somewhere around 12 to 15, I think that's at least something back for one season. It's still a royal mess up. It's still a massive financial L. It's not even funny. I can understand why Todd Boehly is a bit weary about this. You know, comes into Chelsea Football Club, and the first thing he has to deal with is this massive L from financial standpoint. It's crazy. But most of all, as Chelsea have maintained from the very start, Lukaku will only be allowed to leave if the deal makes financial sense. He won't be loaned, sold out of sentiment. Chelsea and Inter are confident, however, of agreeing a deal in coming weeks, but talks not simple. Look, as much as we keep saying that only if it makes financial sense, 100%, yeah, we don't want to make a monumental loss, even though we are going to make a loss. But at the end of the day, Lukaku is pushing for this move. He is pushing for this move. Thomas Tuchel doesn't seem like he really wants to repair anything. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And we are going to get hurt financially. And Todd Boehly, I completely understand why he's upset. Brilliant wrap up there from Ben Jacobs in regards to the Romelu Lukaku situation. Now let's look into this Denzel Dumfries situation, ladies and gentlemen. He's the one that's being rumored a lot in social media to be part of this loan deal that's going on with Romelu Lukaku. Apparently, it's still meant to be a separate case, but we all know at the end of the day, it's a whole package. And the price that they're saying for Dumfries is about 40 million euros, 40 to 45 million euros. And apparently Inter got him for about 12 million or 12 to 13 million euros. Look, is Dumfries worth 40 to 45 million euros right now? Maybe, I don't know. It seems like he's had a good season at Inter Milan. Obviously, Inter Milan's done well. I just don't want to get into like 40 to 45 million. That's hefty. That's the buyback clause for Livramento. So what does that mean, I suppose, down the track for Livramento? I suppose, are we getting him? Are we not getting him? I know he's injured at the moment. How is he going to come back? It's all up in the air. But there was a point this season we all liked Tino Livramento. So we can't deny the fact that all of a sudden we don't like him. So is Tino Livramento part of our plan as well? That should be discussed. Dumfries, is he the kind of wing-back that we need? Pace and power. A lot of people say, yep, that's exactly what we need in the wing-backs, pace and power. The few things that I've seen, look, I've watched him for a couple of times. So maybe I am being harsh on my assessment because it's probably not adequate to see the player a couple of times in the Champions League, once against Real Madrid, once against Liverpool, a couple of times against Liverpool. Maybe that's not fair assessment. But a lot of fans that have been watching him, they're quite okay with this. They like the fact that he's physical in defense, which he is, and they like the fact that he's got pace and he's got a lot of power. Me, on the other hand, the few things that I didn't like when I watched him was on the ball. Technically, I feel like he's not up there. Reece James's levels in terms of technicality with the ball is just amazing. Whereas Dumfries, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. However, the work that we're talking about, few people think that he can develop. He's 26. He's going to be 27 next year in April. So he's in his peak. Maybe he can develop. But here are some of the good attributes as well. He's tall. I've seen defensively he's good. He's got a contract that goes till 2025, and this is probably why the price is a bit high. I mean, transfer market's got him valued at somewhere around 25 million euros, but Inter Milan's trying to get him get us to pay 40 to 45 million euros on this player. Last season, Serie A, 33 matches, 5 goals, 5 assists, 2,000 plus minutes played, assist in Champions League, assist in Italia Cup, all up 5 goals, 7 assists, which isn't bad. When you look at someone like Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think both of them had about 14 or 15, something like that, goal contribution. This guy's about 12. So, maybe it's not bad. This guy, I think, 12 in all competition. I think Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold is 14 or 15, something like that, just in the Premier League. So correct me if I'm wrong with those stats. But, I mean, it's not bad. Dumfries looks like there is a bit of attacking prowess in him. Let's have a look at some of his heat map. As I said, 189 centimeters, so it's quite tall. Right-sided player. very dominant on that right side. Look at that heat map. So he would fit in as a wing back. He would definitely fit in as a wing back, and I can understand why Thomas Tuchel wants this type of player. I suppose, Premier League being a physical league, wants a player that is physically strong and defensively very astute. So I can definitely get that. Attacking wise, something that he can work on. And it's not like he's utterly bad, but it's something definitely he can work on. 6.84 is the rating for Serie A season 21-22. 33 matches played, 21 started, 62 minutes per game, goals 5. These are important. The attacking stats are very, very important. Shots per game 1.2. Big chances missed 9. It's probably... is that okay? I suppose over a long season for a wingback, maybe. I don't know. He probably needs to reduce that. Assists 4, touches 35.3, big chances created 6, key passes 0.8, accurate passes per game 77%. Probably needs to improve on that. Opposition half 71%. Long balls 36%. Definitely needs to improve on that. Crosses 33%, which probably isn't too bad. Generally, it's around that mark anyway with most of the wing backs, fullbacks out there. Interceptions 0.3, tackles per game 1, successful dribbles 50%. Probably needs to, as a wing back, you want to be able to be 1v1. Total duels 52%, ground duels 49%, aerial duels 58%. Look, ground duels I would like to see stats over 50%. Which would be great. Look, this disciplinary situation, he's fine. 3 yellow cards last season in this area. Look, overall, maybe it's not a bad deal. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know. At 40 to 45 million as a separate deal, I just don't want to get screwed by Inter Milan once again. These guys have got us too many times. Okay. Lukaku green light to Inter should arrive by the weekend. This is from Sky Italia. It's moving quick. Inter's going to be Lukaku is going to be an Inter player very, very soon, and I think that's the best news for all of us. Okay, let's now talk about Todd Boehly. Some of the comments that he's been saying. If you look at the models that are very successful, Liverpool is a great model. Liverpool generates a couple of 100 million more revenue than Chelsea, and they generate earnings. So I think there is an opportunity to compete. Look, this is not bad. Some people may look at it, this guy's just looking to only generate income, profit. But if Liverpool's making a couple of hundreds millions more than us, it just helps them out in many areas. Obviously, transfer budget helps them out there, but also allows them to invest elsewhere, whether it be, stadium, revamping, academy-wise, women's team, whatever. Like, there's many different avenues that you need to spend. And if they're making couple of hundreds more than us, we definitely need to get in on the act and try and see how we can improve our revenue streams as well. Because at the end of the day, we want to be self-sustainable. We don't want to be always getting injections from owners. We have to generate our own income to look after ourselves, so that down the track, if there is an ownership situation again, that we don't need to worry too much. The Chelsea operates on its own. Todd Boehly, the big 6 will become the big 7 with the Saudi deal for Newcastle. We believe there is going to be opportunity for everyone to win. Further goes on to say there will be a reorganization of English Football League. The opportunity to turn this into a really more valuable asset is available. Look, he wants to make money out of Chelsea. I'm okay with that, but we do need to invest at the same time. Financial fair play is starting to get some teeth, and that will limit ability to acquire players at any price. UEFA takes it seriously and will continue to take it seriously. Look, you can look at it 2 ways. It's a bit concerning, where it's somewhat trying to say that, look, we're not willing to break the bank for anyone. Financial fair play is going to get us. But I look at it in the sense that it's very difficult in this day and age. The market it's ruthless. Players like Darwin Nunez, close to 100 million euros, so on and so forth. And it's not easy. It's not easy to operate in a manner where you don't pay overs. So look, the way I look at it is, you've got to be able to net out your spending. If we have to spend big on a particular player, so be it. But look for ways where you can sell players to net out your position. That's where we got to be very smart. We don't know how to sell players. That's our issue. Yes, we also don't know how to negotiate players when we bring them in. So we got to get better. And at the same time, our scouting system needs to get better so we find gems. But if there is a situation where we need to buy a player who is, you know, a high quality player out there and demands a lot more money, we have to find ways how to net out that situation. So this, I'm not sure how I want to read this particular situation. I'm more thinking that you have to be smart. You've got to be smart financially. Further goes on to say, Todd Boehly on commenting on other clubs' players, more teeth means financial penalties and disqualifications from sporting competitions. We think the way those clubs go to market is years behind the US model. We think the global footprint of this sport is really undeveloped. Look, once again, I'm happy with some of the conversations Todd Boehly is saying over here, that he thinks the money-making model that there is in football, not just in the Premier League, it's not taking advantage completely. And he thinks that the Chelsea Football Club can make a lot more money, and that's fine. It goes on to say, there are 4 billion fans of European football. There are 170 million fans of NFL. 4 billion fans of European football, 170 million fans of NFL. The NFL generates 15 billion of media money every year. Global club football is a fraction of NFL media money. That's mad. That's mad. The NFL generates 15 billion of media money, and apparently the football only generates a fraction of. See, this is where I'm excited. Look, that's why I don't want to take this whole thing from Todd Boehly. I know a lot of people are getting a bit worried. Oh, this guy, is he going to spend? Is he going to be a penny pincher? If he's able to be smart and unlock some really key ways to find different income streams, which will then further generate greater transfer budgets for us, no problems. Obviously, he then goes on to say the financial fair play. It's, you know, what's the point of, I suppose, you're going to say generate all this income and you're not gonna buy those top-notch players because you're worried about financial fair play. That's why I'm sort of like, you need to have good accountants, good financial controllers to balance out the books, net out your spending. You know, if you buy someone for 100 million, 120 million, then find ways to sell players for 50, 60, 40 million, whatever the case, to balance out the books. Very, very important that we do that on a regular basis and keep things fresh. Boehly is looking into changing scouting. He's a data fixed person. He likes his data. I think Tuchel hinted at the past that scouting hasn't been too good. Scouting definitely hasn't been good. Our scouting has been in the bin. Last window, not the last one, January, last summer window, Saul and Lukaku. And the window before that for Frank Lampard, a lot of the players didn't work out. So, look, it has to do with managers not sticking around for too long as well. You know, managers coming in, buying their own players. And then now we've got a team full of mixture of several managers that have seen us, and that's been detrimental. So if Thomas Tuchel sticks around, hopefully he then has his players and he can stick around for a prolonged period of time. And this is only possible if he keeps winning. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, some Jules Koundé news now. Jules Koundé's surgery was successful. It was very routine surgery, and he has told Sevilla he will be ready for preseason, and Chelsea are aware of that situation. So that's good news that his surgery's been good. I'm a bit worried about the Barcelona thing, but lots of publications out there now saying that, look, he's much more inclined to go towards Chelsea. So hopefully get this done. I was so sure that this was going to get done, maybe last week. As soon as the new owners come in, this would have been a no-brainer, but it's still lingering around. Jules Koundé is keen on the move to Chelsea and is convinced about a move to the Premier League. This is from Diario AS, 3.1 million followers on Twitter. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be very, very surprised if we don't get Jules Koundé now. It'll be such a slap in the face. It'll be such an embarrassment as well. For the new owners coming in. I know this has got nothing to do with the new owners. This player has been monitored by us even previously. We need to get this done. And I'm keen to see what happens over the weekend with the Lukaku situation. Dumfries, let me know how you feel about Dumfries, ladies and gentlemen, and the Todd Boehly comments, how you feel about that. Hope you've enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. See you again next time. See ya.